Hi, my name is William Cummings. I've coached sports of kids from the ages of 3 through 18 for the past 6 years. In that amount of time, I have learned the importance of what I'm about to share with all of you. How many of you knew that about 70% of all girls and 40% of all boys are affected by low self-esteem? Well, today I want to share with you the 5 W's of low self-esteem. 5 W's are the who, what, when, where, and why. Well, let's start with the who. Low self-esteem affects everyone, from infants to our grandparents. Although it is usually learned when we are children, low self-esteem is something we should all be aware of constantly. We as humans are constantly looking for approval, whether it be from friends and family or our co-workers. We are constantly searching for someone to acknowledge that we are part of a group or that we have been some sort of success in our life. Now that we know who low self-esteem affects, let's talk about what some of those effects are. People with low self-esteem usually see temporary setbacks as permanent, intolerable conditions, and they are more pessimistic. This can place people at risk for stress and mental health problems, as well as real difficulty solving different kinds of problems and challenges they encounter. Now let's talk about when we learned of self-esteem. The identification of self-esteem is thought to have its origins in the work of William James in 1892. James came up with 2 dimensions of self, the I self and the me self. The I self is the process of knowing, and the me self describes the resulting knowledge. In the mid-1960s, Morris Rosenberg defined this self-esteem as feeling of self-worth and developed the Rosenberg Self-Esteem Scale, which became the most widely used scale to measure self-esteem in the social sciences. Next, I want to talk about where low self-esteem is more than likely started. Self-esteem is learned from early infancy, whether it is high or low. Everyone learns some type of self-esteem from home. Kids who don't feel safe or are abused at home are at greatest risk for developing poor self-esteem traits. Children who are exposed to parents who fight and argue repeatedly may feel they have no control over their environment and become helpless or depressed. So in order to keep children happy and more than likely good citizens when they're older, treat them with love and compassion. Show them you care. Try not to argue in front of them and constantly talk with them. Finally, let's talk about why self-esteem is a problem. Self-esteem is how we view the way we are and the sense of our personal value. Consequently, it affects the way we are and how we act in the world, and the way we are related to everybody else. A person with low self-esteem can be very critical of themselves, viewing themselves in a negative way. They develop feelings that other people don't think highly of them and that they aren't very good at things such as school or sports or interacting with friends and peers. In conclusion, low self-esteem is something that will affect every one of us one day, whether it's one of our close friends, family members, or one of our own children. We are all going to need to know the signs and how to prevent this from destroying our loved ones. So get involved, read up on some of the literacy, go to conferences, do whatever it takes, because someday we may need someone to help us one day too. Thank you.